Hi folks, Dave with DBSTECHTALK, and today we're going to talk about the ADV M5-1D. The ADV M5-1D was sent over by ADV for review. Do greatly appreciate that. It's always fun to hear more ADV gear. And the M5-1D was one that I had been wanting to hear for a long time, so I finally got the opportunity. And let's find out if it lived up to its expectations. The M5-1D is a pure Beryllium driver. This is my first experience with a pure Beryllium driver IEM. And has a frequency response of 10 Hz to 40 kilohertz, is 32 ohms, and has 110 decibels of sensitivity. You can get them in a custom tip or as a universal. This is the universal, but the universal only comes in the clear with black faceplate, as you see here. When you do the customs, you can pick all sorts of faceplate colors and shell colors if you so desire. All you have to do is send in your ear shapings and measurements, and ADV will do all the work for you and send you your custom tip. So as you can see, the M5-1D has a little bit of branding here on the outside, and then it has a little bit, it says right there, your serial number, and then it'll say right here, M5-1D, and then you'll have ADV on one side of the driver, and there's your Beryllium driver. As a 5mm bore, this is a little rather large. It is a little bit on the chunky side. There's the little base port, and a 2-pin recessed 0.78. The right side is red, black side is left, which makes it nice. You're able to easily determine which one is which. Slightly on the chunky side, but as you can see, they have quite the angle on the nozzle. ADV has done a lot of research regarding how things fit in the ears and how ears are shaped, and so they have designed the M5-1D based off of those findings. And I find that even though they are a little bit chunky, because they have to fit in that big huge Beryllium driver, these fit extremely well in the ears. Have not had any issues whatsoever with comfort. Comes with the standard silver plated copper cable that Advanced sends along with all their higher end gear. The right side has a red dot for the right and a clear on the left. And it just snaps right into place quite easily. All tests for this review were done with silicone tips. I did find that the foam tips were just a little bit too large for my ears. With that 5mm bore, it just was a little bit too large and put some pressure on my ears, which I didn't care for. So I found that the comfort was better with the silicones. They just slide right into your ears. Those preforms on the cable are just the right amount of tension and angle. And I have no problems with comfort when it comes to the M5-1D. If you're to turn a fan on, put it on high speed here, I can barely hear it. It is a very soft hum. I would say probably 10 to 15% is all that I can hear of the volume of the fan. So they isolate and block out outside noises very well. Comfort, I can wear these for hours with no problems whatsoever. One of the other IEMs of recent review that are of the same size and similar design are the Noble X. And the Noble X did not have the angle or the nozzle length that the ADVs do, and I just found that the Nobles were not comfortable whatsoever. These are so much better than the Noble X when it comes to comfort and seal and just overall design. So good job ADV on that. The Beryllium driver is interesting. I've actually only experienced those in over-ear headphones at Head5 meets. I've never had them in an IEM. So I knew that, you know, Beryllium driver tends to be fast and very quick in response in resolution, and they tend to be a little bit on the bassy side. And so when the M5-1D was sent over, I was expecting big bass and a lot of fast resolution. And these do not disappoint. The bass is very, very well done. It extends extremely well into the sub bass. It has a nice thump and a kick to it. They will get up and just grab a hold of you and let you know, I'm here. I am. You like bass? There you go. I mean, it's very well done, very detailed, and it's quick, fast, and very stout is the word I would use for them. And then you get into the mid bass and upper bass, and it's very well done. Also, you have a clean and clear attack, very good decay. They have extremely well done details and clarity. Tonality is very, very well done. All the instruments are separated out and isolated very well. The M5-1D is my favorite bass on an IEM. Then you move into the mids. The mids are very well balanced, close to neutral, and they have good tonality to them. All the instruments are very well separated and isolated out. You can tell each individual instrument or vocalist, and there's no bleeding to it. They do have a little bit of a warmth to them, which adds up fullness and just makes them sound alive, elegant, and romantic. And they have a very good quality of tone or timbre. It's just, you can tell each note, and it just has this portrayal of the tones, and the notes are just very, very, very nice mids. And then you get into the treble, and the treble just climbs to about 12, 13K, and then it slowly goes off and extends out. You get nice details. It has a very nice way of portraying it in a smooth manner. Effortless treble is the way I would explain it. Has a good air, very just flowing way with the treble, but it doesn't shout at you. It doesn't jam the details at you. It doesn't ever go into harsh mode or sibilance, anything of that sort. It's just very well controlled and clean and clear and transparent. Then you get into the soundstage, and the soundstage is wide. You have things coming in from all directions, and the stage is all around you. It has like a circle around your head. It has very good depth, and goes down low, goes up high, goes to the sides. They do soundstage very well. And then it has placement and details along in it. So wherever the sound has come from, you know exactly where it's coming from. It's very well detailed and clear. I enjoyed these for gaming. I used them with Battlefield. I played Project Cars, did some FIFA, NBA basketball, all kinds of different games I played on these, and they sounded fantastic. And I was able to tell where my teammates were. I was able to hear guys yelling at me across the field to pass the ball, because why? And they work for gaming, they work for listening to music. Excellent. How do they pair with gear? Well, on the desktop, they played very well with the THX AAA 788. They played very well with the IFI Audio Pro ICANN with the IE Match. They work great with all the other gear that I have on desktop, but I didn't really use them with desktop. I listened to it a little bit, but about 2/3 or more of my testing was done on portable. And I used mainly my Samsung Note 10 Plus phone with dongles. And I also used my two DAPs. I have a Pioneer XDP-30R and an Echo Box Explorer. And it worked well with both of those. But for the most part, I just used it with my phone while I was going around town, while I was walking around here in the house, or just sitting. I just listened to music on my phone with these plugged in, and I totally fell in love with them. The various dongles that I used were the X Duo Link, which has an extremely nice balanced sound to them, nice crisp treble, and a nice thumpy bass. And then you add in the Razer DAC dongle, which works extremely well, and the ADV access port light, which added a little bit of warmth to the sound. You still get all the details and clarity, but it adds a little bit of warmer sound to them. And I had no problems with power. Usually it was 50% or less with all of the DACs and dongles that I used. When I went and I connected a balanced cable to the M5-1Ds and plugged it into my Pioneer XDP-30R, ran into a little bit of hiss and a little bit of background noise, and so I had to get the IFI IE Match 2.5mm out, and this fixed the problem. So they didn't really care to be ran on balanced. It had some background noise on them, so if you are going to run them balanced, I recommend that you get an IFI IE Match and use this little guy to fix that problem. That way you don't have that background hiss, and they were also a little shouty and sibilant. So the ADV M5-1D Beryllium driver. I'm sad that I have to return them. I'm sad that I have to wait a couple weeks until my replacement order is going to show up. Yeah, I'm purchasing these. They have totally impressed me. And they remind me a lot of a IEM that has a sound signature very similar to the Hi-Fi-Man Edition X. Just a laid back, chilled, fully extended out, and just here's your music, enjoy them. And that's what I'm looking for when it comes to an IEM. And I have found it. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, somewhere on the screen is going to be a subscription link and notification bell. If you haven't already, please check that off. And if you are interested in this gear or any of the other things that have been mentioned in this video, or want to look me up on Discord, or hear some of my playlists, favorite songs, and all that kind of stuff on Tidal, check out the links down below. Thanks.